Hi, I'm Sasha Rockmaretsky, and this is Sasha's Guilt-Free Pleasures, the cooking show where all of the food is delicious and nutritious. Today, we're going to cook a special set of recipes that's Hispanic-inspired cuisine. We're going to start with Choco Guacamole and spicy chips, and then we're going to make super beans. And finally, I'm going to share with you my signature squacos. And here, today, I have my friend, Ananda Leela, and her name means blissful play. The recipes we're going to share with you today are her favorites and mine. So let's get this fiesta started and jump into the guilt-free pleasures. So we're going to start by making the Choco Guacamole with spicy chips. And I have this NutriBullet blender. That's a very handy tool in the kitchen. I'm going to put the avocados directly into the blender. I've also got some chocolate chips, some cocoa powder, agave nectar, vanilla extract, stevia powder, and a little bit of salt. Salt brings out a sweet flavor and any other flavor in spices. So it's kind of counterintuitive, but it's important to put salt in sweet dishes as well as savory ones. So it might not blend all the way on this first time, so you're going to want to mix it up. Starting to get creamy. So again, you might remember from last time, cacao powder that's in this is a superfood, and it's highly nutritious. It has a large amount of vitamins and minerals in it. So it's actually a healthy food as well as a yummy one. Now it's all blended up into a nice fine consistency. Going to give it another stir with the spatula. And we have a lovely, delicious, guilt-free snack and side dish to go with the squacos that we're making later in this episode. So this Choco Guacamole, in addition to being a chocolatey sweet treat, is even more nutritious than regular guacamole because it has the cacao powder that packs a ton of vitamins and minerals into this guacamole. And it's a guilt-free pleasure because you get all of the healthy fats from the avocado, and a ton of vitamins and minerals. And again, cacao, the chocolate raw form of this chocolate powder that we're using right now, has neurotransmitters and precursors to neurotransmitters. So it's actually a happy food. It's basically an antidepressant on a chip. So I'm gonna teach you how to make something real great, some spicy chips to go with our Choco Guacamole.
Hi, I'm Molly Bravo, the host of Organicopia, and you are watching Foody TV.
So now we're going to make some spicy chips to go with our Choco Guacamole. I'm a really big fan of spicy food, and I feel like spicy and sweet go so well together. So these are healthy, gluten-free rice flour tortillas. And we have some homemade hot sauce that was mixed up with chipotle peppers and oil blended together. And I'm going to cut the tortillas into chip sizes. So this dish would be an excellent nutritional addition to your Super Bowl party, Cinco de Mayo, or other special occasion where you want to make a really special twist on chips and guacamole. And it's very little prep work for a really impressive dish for your guests. So we're simply going to lay these on a pre-greased cookie sheet. And the oven is preheated. So we'll just toast these up after we drizzle them with our homemade hot sauce. So the oven is preheated to 375, and we're going to toast these for 5 to 10 minutes until they're nice and crispy golden brown. So you want to fit them all into a single layer so they get a nice even crisp. We'll add the rest of these onto another baking sheet. So now I'm drizzling the hot sauce on top of the tortillas. You can create a nice, attractive drizzle pattern and add that spice right onto the chips. And when you heat spicy food, it brings out the spice more. Chipotle pepper is a medium on the spice scale. And when we heat it up, it's going to get even spicier and just add more flavor and heat as it cooks. It smells delicious, and the aroma also gets stronger as it cooks. So it's going to be a really flavorful chip. So now that our chips are all spiced up, I'm going to pop them in the oven and we'll move on to our super beans.
Hello, I'm Chef Ernie from That Crazy Chef, and you're watching Foody TV. Woo, baby!
So now we're going to cook our super spicy beans. And I have been cooking dry beans in water. And dry beans are much better to use than canned beans. For one, they have less environmental impact. So if you have the time to soak your beans overnight or more time to boil them, they're much more flavorful much more nutritious and have a less environmental impact and are way cheaper than canned beans. So we're going to start to add spices, a lot of spices to these beans. We're going to add a large amount of cumin and a large amount of cinnamon, relatively large, more than we normally would, and coriander seed. That's the seed of cilantro. We're also going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. So these beans, these dry beans, they're about 3/4 cooked at this point. And there's still some water in there, and that's when we're adding the spices to cook them the rest of the way with the spices. I'm also going to saute some onion and jalapeno peppers that we're going to mix into the beans. So we're going to turn the burner up and preheat the oil. So both beans and the spices that are in the beans, particularly the cumin, so they're excellent for pairing with things such as corn tacos, cheese, things that you eat with traditional Hispanic food. Beans help to digest, and they're just incredible, great source of protein, and have a great source of vitamins such as vitamin K. They're just a really great food, really healthy, whole food. So we're adding our red onions to the preheated oil. And the jalapeno peppers. You can use less if you're not as big a fan of spicy as I am. And mix those up as they cook. We're just going to saute these for 2 to 3 minutes. They're diced pretty small, so they'll cook quickly. And we're mixing up the beans and the spices. I can smell the cinnamon and the cumin. They're really aromatic, really flavorful. And again, the heat of the cooking is just going to bring out those flavors even more. So this is one of my favorite dishes to pair with Hispanic meals because it's really easy and really flavorful and really healthy as well. All of these foods are whole foods, and they're really good for you. And it just has such a delicious flavor. You could eat this on its own for lunch, and you don't even have to have it with anything else. That's how good it is. So you'll saute these until the onions are transparent, and that's how you know that they're done. So they're almost there, and they smell so delicious. Afterwards, we're going to top it with chopped cilantro leaves, and that's the finisher. So the onions are cooked. I'm putting them in the bowl that we're going to add the beans to later. So now that we've cooked the jalapenos and the onions, I'm going to let the beans simmer until most of the water is evaporated, and then I'm going to add it to this bowl and top it with cilantro. But we're not going to finish it just yet because we're going to move on to my signature squaco dish to top off this Hispanic-inspired fiesta.
Hi, food and fitness lovers. I'm Chef Tina Martini. You might know me as the Medicine Chef. Stay tuned for more Foody TV.
So now we're going to make my signature squacos. That's squash tacos. So we have these acorn squash that's been peeled, diced, and roasted until still firm. And we're going to saute those with a little bit of red onion, which are really excellent. They're a little sweeter than regular onion, a little more palatable and go great with this kind of dish, and some diced tomato. So I'm going to warm up the oil in the skillet. We also have spices here. We have salt, pepper, anise seed, which has a really yummy, almost licorice kind of flavor and aroma, and it's a very healthy spice. We also have some cumin and some chili pepper and some dried chili flakes from Gourmet Garden. These are organic, lightly dried spices that are dried within a few hours of being harvested, and they're just only lightly dried, so they still retain their flavor. They last up to 4 weeks in the fridge, and they stack conveniently in the fridge for making excellent use of your storage space. They're really convenient and flavorful fresh herbs and spices. So now that our oil's warmed up, we're going to add in the squash and let that saute for a few minutes. So let's turn up the flame to get them nice and roaring. So we're sauteing the squash for a few minutes, and just until they're lightly cooked. Now we're going to add in the onion and the tomato and saute a few more minutes. And we're going to add a pinch of pepper, black pepper, a pinch of salt. We're adding anise seed, cumin powder, and chili powder, and our lightly dried chili flakes. You can always adjust this recipe for less spice, although this isn't a spicy recipe. It's just as much sweet as it is spicy. Because the squash has a really nice, the acorn squash, it's not as sweet as a butternut squash, but it does have a nice sweet flavor when cooked. So this is the sweet part of our dish, and the Choco Guacamole and the super beans are definitely on the spicier side to balance things out. So we're sauteing those for a few more minutes there. And I'm going to start preparing our tortillas. These have been warmed in the oven, so they're not crispy, but they have been warmed, so we're not putting our nice hot saute mixture on cold tortillas. I'm adding some lettuce into the tortillas to make nice little beds for our squash mixture. And this is really cooking up nicely. The onions are cooking and the spices are getting all absorbed in the squacco mixture. So now our squash mixture has been sauteing and it's nice and soft, and the aroma is permeating the kitchen. So I know, and the onions are transparent, so I know that it's ready. So we'll scoop just a little bit of this squash mixture into each of our squaccos. Not only is this dish delicious, it's also really fun to say squaccos. And when you make these for your guests, you know that they're eating a really yummy, really healthy, and really unique dish. I bet you that none of your friends have ever had squaccos before. So now we're going to take our squacos, we're going to add some shaved carrots for a little color and crunch. This dish also has a lot of good nutrition in it. There is a wide variety of vegetables here. And for the best nutrition, you want to get the widest variety of vegetables on your plate as possible. So we have avocado that's been diced. We're also topping the tacos, the squacos, with the avocado. And avocados are an excellent source of healthy fat, and they're delicious. These are California avocados. We also have our squash seeds. So these squash seeds we took out of the squash before we roasted it, and we toasted them with a little bit of salt. And they add a nice crunch and flavor to garnish the squacos with. This is just a really unique and impressive dish that you can create for the people that you love. We're also adding some cilantro leaves. Cilantro is really healthy with a lot of minerals in it. It also has a great flavor, and it's a natural blood cleanser and body cleanser. So it cleanses, one of the things that it does for the body is it detoxes heavy metals from the body, which we just get in our blood and our body from a variety of environmental factors that we can't help, but we definitely can help how much cilantro we eat. And it just goes in so many different kind of dishes really well. So there's a lot of easy ways and fun and delicious ways to use it. And we're going to top off the squacos with a spritz of lemon on each one. And those are my squacos. And now that we've created the main dish, we're going to bring back everything that we cooked today and have ourselves a fun and yummy fiesta.
Hi, I'm Todd Allen Lowe of Allen's Pantry. Be sure to watch my new upcoming shows only on Foody TV.
So here we have our Hispanic fiesta feast. We made squacos, Choco Guacamole with spicy rice tortilla chips, and we have our super spicy beans, which I mixed together and topped with cilantro and cilantro paste from Gourmet Garden. So these are healthier than normal tacos, and they also have a very unique mix of flavors in them that's also authentic to Hispanic cuisine. So it's a really fun and interesting twist on tacos that you can do to mix it up and have an even healthier meal and more nutritious as well because it has a variety of vegetables in it. I hope you have your very own squaco fiesta at home so you get to try these wonderful flavors for yourself. Thanks for joining me for this special episode of Placeres, Libres de Culpa. That's Sasha's guilt-free pleasures. Check out the full recipes on my website, sashasguiltfreepleasures.com, and I'll see you next time.